Okay, thank you. Hi. Oh, yes. Look at these numbers. I'm so glad you guys are here. Take a quick moment if you can access the chat safely. Um, put in the chat where you're zooming from. I see people walking. Look at the sunshine. Tell me where you are. Well, oh, is it direct messaging me? Do you see that? Can y'all see the chat, Jeffrey and Amy?
I
No,
only get an
actually, I
option
cannot.
to direct message a couple of people.
Oh, I'm not
It's
that
only
controlling. Okay,
a
I
couple of you.
promise you. Okay, hang tight. Hang tight.
Shannon.
That must be a setting. Okay. Allow participants to chat. Aim. That is a fascinating
Could you get it fixed?
I'm working
thing.
on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, participant can chat with everyone. See if that changes.
Yes, it's there now.
Well,
Awesome.
bless it. Look, I've got a lot of private messages and I never get them, so that's exciting. You guys are all over the place. Minneapolis, Atlanta, Wisconsin, Texas, Arizona, Dallas, Asheville, Minnesota. Look, this is I'm brushing up on my my state codes. Let's see. South Carolina. Hi, Tracy. My client. Hi. Nevada, Iowa. My goodness. Okay, so those are the ones that came privately to me. So sorry about that. We learn every time. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for sharing where you're coming from. This is Coffee with Clients, and we're so glad that you're here. This call was created for Optavia clients as a way to provide community and support throughout your journey. So my name is Joanna Kirkland, and I'm so excited to be hosting today with Treffrey Gunter. Treff, you want to share a little bit?
Yes, I'd love to. So, my name is Treffrey Gunter, and I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. Actually, just a stone's throw away from Joanna, so down the street from Joe. And I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son, so right in the fun and the stressful teenage years. I started Optavia in June of 2019. So, y'all, I'm coming up on my 6 year anniversary. It's crazy. So I started in the summer and I lost 65 pounds. And I've been coaching now for about 5.5 years, and I love it so much. And I love that I get to do this with Joe and be on Coffee with Clients with you guys today and Joanna.
Yay. I'm so glad you're here too, honey. So I am a certified independent Optavia coach. I've been coaching since August of 2019. I live in Greensboro with Treffrey as well in North Carolina. And I lost over 50 pounds and have kept it off 5.5 years. And I have two kids that are, gosh, feel like adults already. My son just finished sophomore year of college. So he'll be a rising junior. And then my daughter just finished her junior year of high school. So she is now a senior officially. I can't believe it. So I started program on June 3rd. So Treffrey and I were both, gosh, a week or two apart from each other, losing most of our weight during the summer months, which is so wild. And you know what else, Treff? We didn't know that each other was on plan when we
Exactly.
first
We did
started.
not. And we have the
We
same
did not.
coach.
We have the same coach. We had recently met maybe the year prior, and we're getting to know each other. And now we're attached to the hip. So we're basically one. We're basically one person. No, I'm kidding. So I want to remind everybody that we're not doctors, therapists, or nutritionists, but we have years of experience with the Optavia program. And you're welcome to hold your questions until the end, or you can put them in the chat if you prefer. Hopefully that is working okay. Thank you, Amy D, for your help today. So we're so glad to talk today about something we know that we all face, how to stay on track during holidays, and what's coming up, Memorial Day. It's so hard to believe. And there's going to be a lot of busy, fun, often food-filled days of summer coming up. And, more importantly, we want to talk about how this journey is not just about food or weight loss. It's about mindset. It's about learning to make intentional, lifelong choices, not just temporary changes. So let's talk about the importance of planning ahead. Planning ahead is one of the most powerful tools that we have for success. It's not about being rigid, it's about being ready. And so you may have heard that quote before, failing to plan is planning to fail. But the flip side is also powerful too. Planning is self care, and it's a form of love and respect that you give yourself in advance. So when we don't have a plan, we leave ourselves vulnerable to reacting out of emotion, impulse, or exhaustion. When we do have a plan, we're grounded, we're in control, and we're showing up for our goals with intention. So here's what that can look like. You can look at your calendar and know when events are coming up. Like today is Friday, you might be traveling, Monday's going to be maybe potentially off work. What is that going to look like? Maybe you're going to bring a healthy dish to share at some of your gatherings so you're not left without options. Maybe you're going to fuel up before you go to an event so you don't walk in hungry. You're going to try to stay hydrated, especially in the summertime. Being thirsty often masks itself as hunger. And that was huge for me in the very beginning because I did not drink any water prior to 2019. I was a big Diet Coke person. So unless there was water and unsweet tea back then, that I did not get any. So decide ahead of time how you want to feel after these kind of holiday events or things where you're celebrating during the summer. Do you want to feel proud? Do you want to feel empowered? Do you want to feel in alignment with your goals? Planning helps reduce the decision fatigue and helps your goals stay in focus, and it removes the need for willpower in the moment because the decision was already made. Treff, what you think?
All right, Joe. So I don't know about you. I know that we both started at the same time, not knowing that. But when I first started, I completely thought I was doing a diet. Did y'all think that? Have y'all thought that? Is that what you still have in your head? Well, I want to tell you guys that I have learned, and I hope that you hear that this is not a diet. Let's say that again. This is not a diet because diets have an end date. It's something that you get through and then you go back to normal. So for most of us, normal was the problem. It left us feeling stuck, exhausted, and out of control and just plain yucky. And I don't want to go back to that. And I know that you don't want to go back to that either. We really want our new mindset and our new habits to stick and to really help support the life that we want. And the cool thing is that by following plan, we're learning how to create a lifestyle that will help us live long term, where it's a place where you're going to wake up feeling good in your body every day. You're going to actually trust yourself around food. What? That sounds crazy. You can handle the hard days without giving up on yourself, and you can feel proud of your choices, not guilty or ashamed of what you decided to eat. So those are all the things that we're working towards that we really want long term. And I know it's not always going to be easy. Some days are going to feel easy breezy and some are not. And for some of us, the summer may feel like an extra hard time to get through with parties and beach weeks and all the things. But we are learning and growing through all of these experiences. And I know this might sound crazy and maybe even a little bit scary, but all of this that we're doing right now is more than a behavior change. It's really an identity shift. We are not just trying something new to get through, we are actually becoming someone new. And I really want you to kind of start thinking about this question. Instead of asking yourself, can I have this on this diet? I really want you to start asking yourself, does this move me closer to the life that I want? That one question can change so much. It stops the short term thinking and it reminds you of what you want long term. It helps you act with intention, not react to situations. So we have to look at the bigger picture. We want to get through, Joe and I want to help you get through the holiday weekend and summer, but we also want you to think about how you want to live for the rest of your life. Because even when you reach your goals, you're going to have events, you're going to have holidays, and you're going to have summers to get through. So whether it's Memorial Day or the summer or even your everyday life, we would love for you to start thinking about who you're becoming. You're becoming someone who makes decisions on purpose, not because you're feeling pressured. You don't want to feel that pressure when you're on a boat, maybe this summer with friends and family, potentially a cooler of beer and all the snacks. You want to learn how to make decisions in those moments. You want to feel in control instead of feeling controlled by all the casseroles and the desserts on that picnic table. You want to choose to nourish yourself, not numb all of those emotions that may come when you are at maybe you're at a family reunion or your travel is stressful. You want to learn how to just work through each one of those situations, and you want to have a plan in place to get you through all of those temptations. So, this is a learning process, and I hope you're leaning into it. And make sure you ask your coach if you need help getting through any of those events. And of course, we can talk about some of that stuff here in just a minute. So back to you, Joe.
Awesome. So let's talk about using summer as practice, managing emotions without food. So here's where the deeper transformation happens. Getting through summer and special events isn't an obstacle, it's a practice ground. These moments, barbecues, vacations, family gatherings, long days with kids, disrupted routines, these are exactly the spaces where we get to practice everything that we're learning. So we're learning how to not turn to food, to quiet the noises in our head when we get overwhelmed, stressed, and tired from all the hard things happening in our lives. And summer can bring on a lot of these noisy moments. Social pressure to indulge, the more unstructured time. There's triggers, maybe around body image or family stress, emotional exhaustion from juggling a lot at once. And in the past, we may have turned to food for relief. But now we're learning to pause, to check in with ourselves, to ask, what am I really feeling? Is this physical hunger or is it stress, loneliness, or boredom? What would actually help me feel better in the long term? So these summer moments give us practice reps. It's a chance to respond instead of react, choose self-care instead of self-sabotage, step away from autopilot and step into awareness. And maybe that means you might take a little walk before dessert, journaling instead of snacking, texting a coach after a hard moment, just sitting quietly and breathing through an emotion instead of eating it. So this is what growth looks like. It's not perfection, but it's presence. And you're not failing when it's hard, you're learning when it's hard. And that's where the transformation happens. Trev?
Yep. So that's also true. It's really crazy to just kind of reflect through all of this. And, I wish that we could just pause life and that we could just focus on ourselves. But life doesn't slow down just because we've decided to work on ourselves. There's going to be calendars, stress, unexpected moments, and especially with the holidays and all the summer activities that come our way. And there may be times that you do not get it all right. That's why we aren't trying to be perfect, but it is about being intentional. Now, actually, I want to say this pretty clearly. I'm not here to give anyone a free pass to drift off plan just because it's a holiday or summer vacation. And I know all of this can feel super hard, but I have to say, I actually fully believe that you can stay um, all 100% on plan and keep track and working towards your goals during the summer. And I say all this because I stayed the course, and actually so did Joe. I promise I'm not patting myself on the back. I would never look for that praise. But somehow I was consistent, and I honestly don't know how I did it, but I did. And I stayed on track, barely swayed, and I lost 65 pounds in 6 months. And all of that was over summertime, how the holidays, all the things. So that didn't happen by accident though, right? It happened because I dug deep and I decided I was doing the dang thing. And you can too. You are capable of sticking to plan, even during the summer events, even the cookouts, even when it's inconvenient. I know though it is not always easy, but it is possible and it's so worth it. But all of that to say, at the same time, I do know that things happen and people can't always go that route. So if you do have a moment when you make an intentional choice or you have a situation that doesn't go as planned, please don't use that as a reason to spiral. Take ownership, learn from it, and move forward. And please do not beat yourself up. Let these times help you learn and be someone who lives with your future self in mind, and not just for a season, but for life. So, as we head into the summer, this is a great time to start practicing some of these things. We talk about it, but when you think about it during the summer, you kind of look at it a little differently sometimes. So, again, planning ahead so you're not left scrambling. Take your own dish, like Joanna said, that you can have that you know is on plan for yourself and other people might enjoy. You BYOB, whether that is an alcoholic beverage or just a regular bubbly beverage that will get you through the event or the day. Carry your water with you and your fuelings with you everywhere. Beach bags, coolers, purses, glove compartments. Have it with you at all times. Also, pack healthy snacks with you, peppers, cucumbers, celery. Just keep those things in that beach cooler so that you don't go to the chips. Say no to what doesn't serve your goals. So you don't eat all that stuff that's offered just because all of it's on a spread at your fingertips. And remember how proud you're going to feel the next morning, because every time you stay the course, even when it's hard, you're proving to yourself that you can be consistent. And if you go off plan, get right back on track and you're still proving yourself that you can be consistent. You're not just following the plan, you're creating a new normal for yourself, and one that's going to last and one that's going to feel good. So let's not lose all that we've been working for as we head into the summer. And let's go in with clarity of what you really want for yourself. Go into it with confidence and commitment to you. You don't have to be perfect, but do not let that be an excuse either. I want you to remember and say to yourself, I may not be perfect, but I am in control of my next choice. And just thinking about that can be really powerful. So that's back to you, Joe.
Fantastic. I mean, you're getting me fired up. And it's been a long time since I've been in the weight loss phase, but it brings me right back to it. Thank you. I do want to share, see if I can share my screen. Of course, it's not up. One moment. Wizards. We are wizards. There we go. Let's see if this works.
Yes,
Can you see that?
ma'am. There it is.
I don't know if it's attractive, or what y'all see. Okay. So this is I'm going to put this in the chat in a moment, but I love sharing recipes for kind of seasonal and like holiday stuff. So you can have things at your fingertips. Your coach may have this too, if you can't snag it from the chat. Memorial Day recipes. Decide, commit, succeed. It's kind of like the stuff we were talking about, on plan. It's an exciting weekend where we're kind of kicking off the summer. So here are some tips. Like we've said before, bring a healthy dish. Don't skip meals. That's another good one. You want to still eat every 2.5 to 3 hours like normal to keep your blood sugar stable so your cravings don't come back. Check out the grill without your plate. Scope out the situation and plan. So if you know where you're going and what they're serving, I kind of do this sometimes. I have in the past with Super Bowl. Like, what's going to be there? And then I'm going to bring a bunch of things for myself to share with everybody, but also hook myself up. Eat your veggies first. That's a good trick. Don't stand next to the food socializing. That's kind of hard to do sometimes, to walk away, but it does help if you just kind of free up that area where the food is and go somewhere else if it's a trigger for you. Using a lettuce wrap, Treffrey and I do this all the time, and probably Amy too, with hamburgers. And I mean, I always had hamburgers on program. And I still do to this day. I don't have them every day, but once a week or so. And I'll wrap it still after 5.5 years in a lettuce wrap, or put it on a salad. Get moving, like we talked about. Go for a walk before or after a meal. Get the leftovers out of the house. And these are just great for kind of any time, any holiday. Don't forget to hydrate. That's a biggie because in summertime we sweat it out too, even more so. And don't give in to food pushers. I love that term. And you know what? God knows we could have been doing that to other people back in the day for sure. I could have been a former food pusher, FFP. So I'm going to put this in the chat. There's just some really cool things here. This buffalo chicken dip. I won't go through all these, but I want to share some of those tips with you, and I'll put that in the chat momentarily. Okay. Also, I'm going to stop recording in just a second and open it up for questions. So be thinking what you want to navigate through, what's coming up for you this weekend, what are you doing? We know our coaches are clients too, and we have a lot of coaches that love to come and support and listen. We'd love to prioritize hearing from non-coaches during this time if we can. Thank you so much. Okay, let me stop record.